Chapter 1. The Hidden Wound. The muddy forest path reeked of wet moss and decaying leaves, my boots squelching with every step on the damp earth. Morning mist clung to the oaks like ghostly tendrils, sunlight barely piercing the branches to scatter dappled light across the ground. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now just a nameless healer scraping by on herbs, carrying the weight of my exile like a secret scar. No one in this village knows I once wore a crown. My fingertips still held the bitter scent of marigold from grinding ointments last night. I glanced at my basket sage and lavender, enough to treat the villagers' fevers until a low groan cut through the air. It came from deeper in the woods, animal-like but laced with human desperation. I followed the sound, pushing through thorny undergrowth, mud clinging to my skirt. A few steps away, a figure lay slumped by the path, his armor glinting in the dawn like forgotten stars. My pulse quickened. The eagle crest on his chest plate screamed Castor, our enemy kingdom. Knight, foe, or trap? My hand tightened around the dagger hidden in my sleeve as I crept closer. He lay face up, pale as frost, sweat beading on his brow. A gash ran from his left shoulder to his chest, crusted with blood but glowing faintly with an eerie teal light, like moonlight trapped beneath his skin. I knelt, checking his pulse weak, but there. His eyelids fluttered, revealing grey-blue eyes, sharp yet exhausted. "Tonight save me," he rasped, his voice a broken prayer carried off by the wind. His hand clutched a scrap of cloth, the blood-stained eagle crest stark against it. What should I do? He a Castorian knight. Saving him could unravel my cover, make the villagers suspicious, or worse, draw Castor's hunters. But leaving him here means this forest becomes his grave. My heart churned, torn between loyalty and compassion. I remembered my father's dying words, "Mercy is a ruler's trial." But I'm no princess anymore, just a shadow in hiding. Gritting my teeth, I tore a strip from my skirt and pressed it to his wound. Blood soaked through, warm and sticky, but that strange teal glow only grew brighter, mocking my herbs. "What is your name?" I asked softly, trying to steady my trembling hands. His gaze locked onto mine, intense enough to pin me in place. "Alaric," he gasped, "Castor's deserter." Deserter? The word hit me like a cold wind. Enemy or fellow outcast? I had no time to dwell. The village bell tolled in the distance, signaling morning prayers. Villagers would pass this way soon. I hauled Alaric up, his armor heavy against my aching shoulders. We stumbled through the woods to my cabin, where the air smelled of dried hay and herbs, the fireplace crackling faintly. I settled him on a straw bed and lit an oil lamp. In its glow, his wound looked even stranger, the teal light pulsing like it was alive. I ground marigold and smeared it on the gash, but it did nothing. The glow seemed to devour the ointment. My faith wavered. Was this God's test or something darker? "Why are you helping me?" Alaric's voice was low, laced with suspicion. I paused, staring at the eagle crest he still gripped. The blood-stained cloth seemed to whisper untold secrets. Memories of my father's assassination, the court's betrayal, and my forced exile flooded back. "Because I know what it's like to be cast out," I murmured. His eyes softened for a moment, his fingers loosening to reveal a silver ring hidden in the cloth, etched with unfamiliar patterns. The bell rang again, sharp and urgent, not prayers, but an alarm. Had the villagers found something? My secret, or his? I shoved Alaric behind a pile of straw, gripped my dagger, and opened the door. In the mist, torchlight flickered. Someone was coming. My heart hung in the balance, loyalty and mercy cutting like a blade. Chapter 2. The Enemy's Crest. Sunset bled through the cracked wooden window of my cabin, painting Alaric's pale face with a reddish glow. I sat beside him, the sharp scent of sage rising from the mortar in my hands, its grinding a low hum like an ancient prayer. The air carried the warmth of herbs and damp wood, the fireplace's embers snapping softly. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now a healer in this forest village, my exile a secret I guard like a bruise. This morning, I hid this wounded Castorian knight here, his wound pulsing with that unnatural teal glow, resisting my herbs like they're nothing. His eagle crest the mark of our enemy, Castor weighs on me like a stone. I stared at the blooded cloth in my hand, the eagle's outline stark in the dim light. Why didn't you leave me? Alaric's voice broke the quiet, low and rough, like an echo from some deep abyss. He leaned against the straw, his grey-blue eyes studying me with a mix of curiosity and doubt. My fingers tightened around the crest, its rough fabric biting into my palm. I wanted to answer, but my throat caught on the tangle of my thoughts. As a princess, I swore loyalty to my kingdom. Castor's armies crushed my home, forced me to flee. Yet this man, this self-proclaimed deserter, didn't he look like an enemy? His eyes held only weariness and a pain I couldn't quite read. My father's words echoed, mercy is a ruler's glory. But could mercy bury me? You said you're a deserter, I said at last, my voice barely louder than the fire's crackle. Why betray Castor? I spread the crest before him, the eagle's wings almost alive in the lamplight. He looked away, a bitter smile tugging at his lips. I didn't betray the kingdom, he whispered, but my family's sins. His trembling fingers brushed his wound, the teal glow pulsing like a heartbeat. My chest tightened. Sins? A curse? Or something deeper? I thought of the silver ring he'd hidden in the crest, its strange engravings a possible key to his past. I opened my mouth to press him, but heavy footsteps and the thud of a staff against the ground stopped me. The village elder, Calvin, was here. His voice boomed through the thin door, gruff and urgent. Aelara, come out. There's sign of an enemy. My heart raced. The crest slipped from my fingers, and I stuffed it into the pouch at my waist, moving like I was hiding a crime. I opened the door, cold evening air hitting me with the scent of earth and pine. Calvin stood there, his white beard trembling in the torchlight, flanked by villagers clutching crude spears, their eyes sharp with suspicion. Elder, what has happened? I kept my voice steady, though my palms were slick with sweat. Calvin's gaze flicked past me into the cabin, his brow furrowing. Hunters found hoofprints at the forest's edge, Castorian. Word is you brought a stranger back today. His tone was an accusation, slicing through me. My mind raced if I turned Alaric over. He'd die if I lied. I risked the village's trust. Forcing myself to meet his eyes, I said, just a wounded traveler. I'm treating him. The lie tasted bitter as herbs. Hand him over, Aelara, Calvin said coldly. We can't take chances. The villagers' murmurs hissed like snakes, thick with doubt. My chest ached, loyalty and mercy clashing again. I saw my father's murder, the court's betrayal that cost me everything. Would I betray my heart now? He's not an enemy, I said firmly, my voice shaking. Give me one day to find the truth. Calvin's eyes narrowed, but he grunted, tomorrow morning, bring him to the square. He turned, torchlight fading into the mist. I shut the door, leaning against it, my breath ragged. Alaric's gaze met mine from the straw pile, a mix of gratitude and wariness. "Why protect me?" he asked, his voice probing. I knelt beside him, staring at the ominous glow of his wound. "Because redemption starts with trust," I said softly, my fingers brushing his, warm and rough. He tensed slightly, like he felt the spark too. The air stilled, broken only by the fire's crackle and our uneven breaths. "You trust an enemy?" He gave a faint, bitter laugh, something complex flickering in his eyes. I shook my head, glancing at the silver ring. "I trust someone with a story." I tucked the crest into my pocket, buying him time. His wound needed stronger herbs or a miracle. But Calvin's warning lingered. Castorian hoofprints meant hunters were close. I looked out the window into the inky night, a distant wolf's howl sounding like a dark omen. I lit a fresh lamp, its glow catching Alaric's face, outlining his strong jaw and the shadows in his eyes. His story, his sins, would they save me or destroy me? I gripped the dagger in my sleeve, praying silently, "God, if this is a trial, guide me." Outside, the wind howled, whispering secrets yet untold. Chapter 3: The Forbidden Oath. The night was black as ink, starlight spilling through the cabin's cracked window like God's eyes peering at our secrets. The fireplace flickered, casting long shadows, the air thick with the sharp scent of burnt pine and herbs. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now a hidden healer in this forest village, carrying the scars of exile. Last night, I defied the Elder's orders, hiding Alaric, the wounded Castorian knight, in my cabin. His wound pulsed with an eerie teal glow, resisting my herbs, and the Castorian eagle crest tucked in my waist pouch felt heavy as sin. I sat by the straw bed, the lavender-scented mortar in my hands grinding softly, a quiet chant to soothe my restless heart. Alaric leaned against the straw, his face still pale, but his grey-blue eyes sparked with life in the firelight. ID stripped off his armor, now piled in the corner like a discarded shell. Dipping fresh linen in marigold ointment, I carefully dressed his wound. The gash ran from shoulder to chest, its teal glow pulsing like it was alive, devouring the sarve. My fingers brushed his warm, solid skin, and he flinched slightly, his gaze locking onto mine. "Why are you so stubborn?" he murmured, his voice rough yet soft, like a breeze over a lake. I paused, avoiding his eyes, and whispered, "Because I can't just watch you die." My heart churned, loyalty and mercy clashing like blades. He's an enemy knight, yet I'm risking everything for him, betraying the village's trust. "Aren't you afraid I'm a trap?" he asked, a bitter smile tugging at his lips. I met his gaze, searching for deceit but finding only exhaustion and a buried pain. I admitted, but I'm more afraid of regret." My mind flashed to the night my father was stabbed, the Cortes' betrayal stealing everything. I'd sworn vengeance for my kingdom, so why did this enemy stir my compassion? Maybe it was his eyes, carrying the same weight of abandonment as mine. The firelight danced, catching the silver ring he clutched, the one hidden in the crest, etched with strange patterns. I couldn't hold back. "Whose ring is that?" He went quiet, his gaze sinking into memory's abyss. "My family's token," he said softly, "and my shackle." He took a shaky breath, like shedding a burden, and continued, "I was cast out for refusing their orders to sacrifice innocence with a holy relic." His voice held anger and guilt, the wound's teal glow flaring briefly. My heart jolted. Relic? Sacrifice? Was this the curse behind his wound? "And you, Aelara?" he asked suddenly, his gaze piercing my disguise. Why hide in this village, carrying secrets? My breath caught, the linen nearly slipping from my hands. I never shared my truth, but his honesty was a key unlocking my guarded heart. I touched the royal pendant hidden at my chest, its cold metal a reminder of lost glory. I was a princess, I whispered, my voice nearly swallowed by the fire's crackle, until betrayal stole my crown. I shut my eyes, memories cutting like knives, my father's blood staining marble, traitors' cold laughter, flames driving me into exile. I swore revenge, but I'm just surviving in these woods. His hand covered mine, warm and steady, like a light in the dark. You're not alone, he said, his voice carrying a solemn strength. I swear, as a knight, to protect you, no matter the enemy. His grip tightened, his touch heavy as an oath. My pulse raced, my throat tight. His vow was forbidden, a betrayal of our loyalties, yet it sparked something unstoppable in me. I swear to, Alaric, I whispered, as long as you live, I won't let you face this alone. Our eyes locked, starlight and firelight blending, the air still except for mingled breaths. Then, hooves thundered faintly outside, like distant storms. I sprang up, pushing open the window, the night air sharp with earth and hoarse sweat. In the forest, torchlight flickered, metal clinking Castorian scouts. They were closer than I feared. I turned to Alaric, his face hardening as he struggled to stand. They're here for me, he whispered, gripping the short sword by the bed. My heart pounded like a drum. If the scouts found him, my identity would unravel, endangering the village. I grabbed a cloak, covering his armor, and hissed, "Stay still. I'll lead them away." I opened the door, the cold biting, the starry sky above a sleeping forest. The torches drew nearer, scouts' murmurs mixing with horses' snorts. I gripped my hidden dagger, torn if I turned Alaric over. I'd save the village if I protected him. We'd face an unknown fate. My pendant warmed against my chest, echoing my father's words. Mercy is a trial, courage is the answer. I took a deep breath, stepping into the night to face the approaching shadows. But Alaric grabbed my wrist, his voice low. Don't face them alone. His eyes were resolute, his wound's teal glow flashing in the dark, like a cryptic prophecy. His oath, our forbidden bond, could it withstand this war? Chapter 4. The Stolen Kiss. Sunlight filtered through the forest canopy, scattering dappled light across the ground, the stream's gurgle mingling with birdsong like an unfinished elegy. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now a fugitive healer, carrying my kingdom's secrets and a forbidden oath. Last night, Alaric and I shared our truths under the stars, his knight's vow igniting a spark between us, but the sound of Castorian hooves drove us from the village. We fled along the stream, mud clinging to my boots, my skirt heavy with wet moss. Alaric followed, his steps laboured, his wound still bleeding, its teal glow sharper now, like a curse's watchful eye. My royal pendant hung heavy at my chest, its cold metal a reminder of lost glory and the cost of this escape. The forest air was damp, thick with pine and rotting leaves, the narrow path forcing us close. Alaric had shed his armor, wearing only a tattered linen shirt, sweat matting his hair. He leaned on trees for support, his breaths heavy but determined. I glanced back, the teal glow of his wound stark in the sunlight, devouring his life. We need to rest, I said, my voice half drowned by the stream. He nodded, eyes flashing with stubborn pride. I can keep going, Aelara. Don't stop for me. His tone held a knight's defiance, but his body betrayed his weakness. I clenched my jaw. Torn, he was my responsibility, my forbidden tie. How could I let him fall? We stopped by a waterfall, its cascade a white veil over the rocks, mist cool and damp. Sunlight sparked rainbows on the water, briefly hiding the shadows at our backs. I knelt by the stream, pulling marigold and sage from my pouch to dress his wound. Alaric leaned against a mossy boulder, chest heaving, his gaze fixed on me. "You don't have to risk so much for me," he said softly, his voice smooth as water over stone. I ground the herbs, their bitter scent masking my unsteady heart. "I made my choice," I whispered, "the moment you said save me." I approached, untying his shirt to reveal the gash from shoulder to chest. The teal glow burned brighter, its edges blackening, like a venomous serpent eating his flesh. I spread the ointment, my fingers trembling. His skin was warm, salty with sweat, and my touch made him flinch. "This isn't a normal wound," I said quietly, hiding my fear. He grabbed my wrist, his grip light but firm, his eyes blazing like torches. "It's from a relic," he whispered, "my family's sin, a betrayal of divine grace." His voice carried guilt, like a confession. My heart lurched. Relic? Was it the silver ring or something worse? "Tell me the truth, Alaric," I pressed, urgency in my voice. "I need to know to save you." He paused, his gaze lost in memory. "I stole my family's relic to stop their sacrifices," he said. "But it cursed me, and everyone who touches it." He pulled the silver ring from his waist, its etched patterns glinting ominously in the sun. My father's words echoed, "Divine gifts must not be defiled." But I was no princess anymore, my faith shaken by betrayal. "If this is divine punishment," I said softly, "we'll face it together." He pulled me closer, so close I could hear his heart beat. "As a boy, I saw my father use the relic to pierce an innocent's heart," he said. "I swore to break that sin." His confession blew away my defenses, our shared pain binding us tighter. My pulse raced. Mist dampened my hair, the waterfall's roar drowning the world. His hand slid to my cheek, rough fingers brushing my skin, sending shivers through me. "Aelara," he whispered, his voice heavy as a vow, "I'd rather die than let you suffer for me." I met his gaze, grey-blue like a storm-tossed sea, holding loyalty and pain. My heart churned, loyalty and love clashing like blades. He was an enemy knight, yet I couldn't deny the pull. "Then live," I whispered, "for me." He leaned in, his lips brushing mine, soft and searing, like stolen fire. Time froze the waterfall's roar, the stream's scent, his breath all melted into this moment. My heart pounded like a war drum, answering his kiss, the forbidden sweetness nearly erasing the danger. But it was brief as a shooting star. I pulled back, breathless. "We can't, this could ruin us." He gripped my hand, shaking his head firmly. "This kiss is my oath, Aelara. Gods or enemies, I'll protect you." My chest tightened, the pendant burning against my skin, reminding me of love's cost. A branch snapped in the forest, heavy footsteps following. I spun, drawing my dagger, the stream reflecting distant torchlight. A figure emerged, draped in a black robe, a silver cross gleaming at his chest, a church inquisitor. His voice was cold as iron. "Aelara, healer, you harbor a heretic, defying God." My heart nearly stopped. Alaric stepped in front of me, short sword in hand, his wound's teal glow flaring like it answered the church's threat. She is innocent, he roared, his voice echoing over the falls. The Inquisitor's eyes narrowed, scanning Alaric's wound with disdain. That mark is Satan's seal. Woman, surrender him, or fire will cleanse your soul. I gripped my dagger, my heart a storm. The church spoke for God, but their trials had burned the innocent to ash. My father's words rang, mercy is a trial, courage is the answer. Defying the church could doom me, Alaric, and the village. I glanced at his wound, the black edges spreading, the teal glow like a demon's whisper. He grabbed my arm, whispering, "Don't listen, Aelara. We run." His eyes were resolute, though his wound worsened. I clenched my jaw, torn fight the church for love, or bow to divine wrath? The Inquisitor's torch drew closer, more footsteps echoing behind. I pulled Alaric toward the stream's lower banks, water splashing my skirt. His wound leaked black blood, hissing on the stones. The waterfall masked our steps, but the Inquisitor's voice chased us like a curse. You can't escape, heretic's protector. I gripped his hand, my pendant pulsing, whispering an untold prophecy. This forbidden kiss, would it save us or destroy us? Chapter 5. Shadows of the Court. The dying sunlight seeped through the broken windows of the abandoned castle, staining the dusty stone hall with red. The air reeked of mold and sharp oil. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now a fugitive healer, carrying royal secrets and a forbidden love. 2 days ago, Alaric's stolen kiss by the waterfall burned on my lips, but the church's inquisitor hunted us, forcing us into this desolate ruin. The castle's cold, cracked walls whispered of past glory and betrayal. My boots crunched on shattered stone, echoing in the vast hall. Alaric followed, his steps heavy, his wound's teal glow flickering in the dimness like a demon's eye. His linen shirt was soaked with sweat and blood, the silver ring at his waist a faint reminder of his untold secrets. We crossed the hall, where faded stag crests hung on tattered tapestries, dust swirling in the wind from broken windows. My fingers brushed the royal pendant at my chest, its cold metal stirring memories of the court, my father's blood, traitor's sneers, the conspiracy that drove me into exile. Alaric paused, leaning against a cracked pillar, his ragged breaths echoing. This was a border fortress, he said softly, scanning the collapsed roof. I came here as a boy with my father. His voice held a trace of nostalgia, undercut by the pain of his wound. I stepped closer, checking the gash from his shoulder to chest. Black edges had spread, the teal glow pulsing faster, devouring his life. We need answers, I said, my voice bouncing off the stone walls. Your wound, it's getting worse. I pulled the last marigold from my pouch, its bitter scent making me wince. The ointment was useless, but I couldn't give up. My eyes caught a toppled statue of the Virgin Mary in the corner, beside a stone table scattered with dusty parchment scrolls. I carefully lifted one, unrolling it to reveal ancient ink in the torchlight, the script twisting like a curse. I read aloud, "The wrath of the relic, touched by the unworthy, brings divine punishment." My heart lurched. Was this about Alaric's wound? Tell me, Alaric, I turned, urgency in my voice. What is this relic? He looked down, his gaze heavy with centuries of guilt. A dagger, he whispered, guarded by my family for generations, said to be blessed by the gods to purge evil. But my father, he used it to sacrifice innocence, angering the divine. He untied his pouch, revealing the silver ring, its etched patterns eerily matching the scroll S. I stole it to stop the sacrifices, but it cursed me. His wound flared brighter, as if echoing his confession. My chest tightened, my father's words ringing. Those who defile the divine face judgment. But I no longer trusted simple divine wrath. Could this curse threaten me too? Before I could press further, hooves thundered outside, metal armor clanking. I spun, torchlight spilling through the windows, illuminating a squad of soldiers. A woman led them, draped in a crimson cloak, golden hairpins glinting in the sunset, her eyes sharp with noble arrogance. She strode into the hall, her boots striking the stone like a death knell. "Alaric, my betrothed," she sneered, her voice cutting like a blade. "Did you think you could escape me?" My heart froze. Isabella, Castor's noblewoman, Alaric's fiancée. Her gaze flicked to me, dripping with contempt. "And you, healer, daring to shelter a traitor. How did you find us?" Alaric roared, struggling to stand, his short sword raised to shield me. His wound oozed black blood, hissing on the stone. Isabella smirked, gesturing her guards forward. "Your crest betrayed you, traitor." And her eyes locked on me, gleaming with cunning. "Princess Aelara, no matter how well you hide, you can't escape my spies." My blood ran cold. She knew who I was. The pendant burned against my chest, warning of the storm to come. I gripped my dagger, my heart churning. If she exposed me, the church's flames would consume us, and the village would become a battlefield. "What do you want, Isabella?" I forced my voice steady, hiding my fear. She stepped closer, her cloak billowing, a cruel smile curling her lips. "I want him, Aelara. Hand over Alaric, or your princess past and treason will echo through Castor." Her threat stabbed my heart. I'd sworn vengeance, so why was I risking everything for an enemy knight? Alaric grabbed my arm, whispering, "Don't listen to her, Aelara. I won't let you suffer for me." His voice held a knight's resolve, his wound's teal glow pulsing with his determination. I met his eyes, grey-blue like a stormy sea, brimming with loyalty and sacrifice. My heart wrestled, love and duty teetering like a scale. My father's words echoed, "Mercy is a trial, courage is the answer." But would courage drag us both into the abyss? "I won't give you up, Alaric," I said softly. His grip tightened, his touch heavy as an oath. "Then we face her together," he whispered, his eyes like torches igniting my heart. Isabella's laugh grated like a crow's core. "Foolish lovers, you can't escape divine wrath." She waved a hand, her guards drawing swords, blades glinting in the torchlight. I yanked Alaric toward a hidden door at the hall's far end, stones crunching underfoot. The passage was damp, reeking of oil and mold. We stumbled through, the guard's footsteps echoing like death's pursuit. My hand clutched his, the pendant pulsing at my chest, whispering an untold secret. The relic's curse, Isabella's threat, would they drag our love into the void? Chapter 6. The Trial of Faith. Morning mist cloaked the village square, cold seeping through the stone into my boots, carrying the scent of earth and wet grass. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now a fugitive healer, bearing royal secrets and a forbidden love. 2 days ago, Isabella's threats drove us from the ruined castle, Alaric's wound worsening, black blood and teal glow twisting like a cursed serpent devouring his life. We returned to the village seeking herbs and shelter, only to find the church's inquisitor, Samuel, waiting in the square's center, his silver cross gleaming coldly in the dawn. Villagers formed a ring, torch smoke mingling with their fearful whispers, the air thick with dread and burnt wood. My royal pendant hung heavy at my chest, its cold metal warning of the storm ahead. Samuel stood on a wooden platform, his gaze sharp as a hawk's, sweeping over the villagers before locking on me. His voice rang out, cold as iron. Aelara, healer, you stand accused of harboring a heretic and practicing witchcraft. My heart nearly stopped, the villagers' murmurs hissing like snakes. Someone shouted, she saved us, how is she a witch? But more cast suspicious glares. I gripped the dagger hidden in my sleeve, my heart churning. The church had burned countless innocents for straying from doctrine. My father's words echoed, faith is a trial, mercy is the answer. But would my mercy make me a sacrifice to the flames? Alaric stood beside me, pale, his wound's black blood soaking his linen shirt, the teal glow flickering in the mist. He tried to step in front of me, short sword in hand, his voice low but firm. She's innocent. I brought this trouble. His gaze met Samuel's, defiant as a knight. I'm Alaric, Castor's deserter knight. Judge me, not her. The crowd gasped, the name Castor striking like thunder. Samuel sneered, pointing at his wound. That mark is Satan's seal. Your defense only proves her guilt. My chest tightened. Alaric's confession exposed him, pushing us deeper into the abyss. Why did you do that? I whispered. He turned, his grey-blue eyes locking on mine, soft yet resolute. Because I swore, Aelara, he murmured, his fingers brushing my arm, warm as a torch. I won't let you face this alone. His touch was heavy as an oath, sparking fire in my heart, but sinking me deeper into a moral spiral. He was an enemy knight, yet I staked everything on him. My faith wavered. The church spoke for God, but were their judgments just? Then, a low horn sounded, followed by thundering hooves and clanking metal. Flames roared at the village's edge, wooden fences ablaze. Castor's cavalry surged like a black tide. Villagers screamed, scattering, children's cries and women's shouts piercing the mist. Samuel raised his cross, shouting, "This is divine wrath. Surrender the heretic, or the village burns." My heart pounded like a war drum, memories of the court flashing. My father's blood on marble, traitors' laughter, flames driving my exile. Was history repeating, destined to strip me of everything again? Aelara, run! Alaric grabbed my hand, pulling toward the forest's edge. His wound bled more black blood, his steps faltering, yet he shielded me. I broke free, standing in the square's center, facing Samuel. I'm no witch. I shouted, my voice trembling in the chaos. I save lives because of mercy. I yanked out my royal pendant, holding it high in the dawn, its metal gleaming like a star. If God judges, let him answer my prayer. I knelt, clutching the pendant, eyes shut, praying, Lord, if your mercy remains, redeem us. My voice broke, tears streaking my face. In that moment, Alaric's wound glowed softly, the teal light gentle as moonlight, halting the black blood's spread. The crowd fell silent, even Samuel's eyes widening in shock. My heart leapt. Was this a miracle or the curse's trick? Alaric whispered, Aelara, your faith. His words were cut off as an arrow whistled through the air, grazing my shoulder and lodging in the platform. Enemy war cries closed in, flames swallowing village roofs. I pulled Alaric toward my cabin, screams and clashing swords ringing behind us. We hid inside, the door shaking under blows. I tore cloth to bind his wound, the teal glow still pulsing, whispering an untold secret. Did you see it? I whispered, voice trembling. God answered. He gripped my hand, hope flickering in his eyes. Maybe you saved me, Aelara. His fingers tightened, warm as an oath, letting me forget the chaos outside for a moment. But the firelight and war cries reminded me war was here, the church's judgment and enemy siege like twin blades over our heads. I pulled the silver ring from my pouch, its etched patterns matching the Castle Scroll S. The Scroll S words burned in my mind. The relic S wrath traps the soul, only true repentance can break it. I looked at Alaric S wound, the teal glow a demon S murmur. But fighting the church and enemy would cost the village. I clutched the pendant. Torn faith urged me to seek a miracle. Love urged me to choose him. Could they coexist? Footsteps closed in. Samuel's voice thundering. Heretic, face your death. I met Alaric's eyes, grey-blue like a stormy sea, holding sacrifice and resolve. This trial, would it redeem us or destroy us? Chapter 7. The Crack in the Triangle. The night was pitch black, the cabin's wooden window creaking in the biting wind, the fireplace's flickering light casting long shadows. The air was thick with the sharp scent of burnt pine and herbs. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now a fugitive healer, carrying royal secrets and a forbidden love. Yesterday morning, the church's inquisitor branded me a witch in the village square, and Alaric's defense revealed him as a Castorian deserter knight. The enemy's siege set the village ablaze, and my desperate prayer stirred a mysterious teal glow in Alaric's wound, like a divine answer. We hid in the cabin, evading the inquisitor's grasp, but danger clung to us like a shadow. My royal pendant hung heavy at my chest, its cold metal a reminder of lost glory and the cost of this love. I sat by the straw bed, the bitter scent of sage rising from the mortar in my hands, its grinding a soft hum to calm my restless heart. Alaric leaned against the wall, pale as frost, his wound's black blood stanched but the teal glow still pulsing, a curse-s whisper. His tattered linen shirt clung to him, the silver ring at his waist glinting, its etched patterns mirroring the Castle Scroll's relic design. My gaze lingered on the ring, a pang in my chest. He'd spoken of his family's sins but never mentioned his fiancée, Isabella. Her threat echoed from the ruined castle, hand him over, or your princess past will echo through Castor. My trust wavered, love and betrayal clashing like blades. Outside, the village's fires had died, but whispers of villagers and children's cries mixed with the stench of charred wood and blood. As I reached to dress Alaric's wound, the door slammed open, cold wind gusting in, making the fire flicker. Isabella stood in the doorway, her crimson cloak stark as blood in the night, golden hairpins glinting coldly. 2 guards flanked her, their sword sheaths clinking against the floor. Her lips curled in a sneer, her eyes dripping with noble arrogance. Aelara, no matter how well you hide, you can't escape me. She stepped closer, raising a silver ring identical to Alaric's, its etched patterns gleaming in the firelight. This engagement ring, she said slowly, is Alaric's vow to me. My heart plummeted, the mortar nearly slipping from my hands. An engagement ring? I turned to Alaric, his face darkening, guilt and anger flashing in his eyes. Isabella, stop! He growled, struggling to stand, short sword in hand, his wound's teal glow flaring like it felt his rage. My chest ached, the memory of his waterfall kiss burning in my ears. I'd rather die than let you suffer for me. But now, this ring was a dagger through my trust. Is it true, Alaric? I asked, voice trembling. Did you swear to her? He looked down, his voice low as a confession. It's true, Aelara. But it wasn't love, it was a family deal. He stepped closer, his gaze pleading. Castor's nobles forced the betrothal to secure their power. I never loved her. My vow is only for you. His hand reached for me, but Isabella's sharp laugh cut through, shrill as a crow's core. Such a touching lie. Aelara, you think a traitor would give up everything for you? She tossed the ring to the floor, its metallic clink mocking my trust. I stared at the ring, its patterns twisting like a curse in the firelight. My heart churned, love and betrayal wrestling within. I saw my father's assassination, the court's conspiracy stripping me of everything. Was I now betrayed by another vow? Why didn't you tell me? I asked, voice breaking, tears stinging my eyes. Alaric's gaze softened, pained. I was afraid of losing you, Aelara. That ring is my shackle, not my heart. His fingers brushed my arm, warm as a torch, but they couldn't melt the chill in my chest. Isabella sneered, gesturing her guards forward. Enough. Alaric. You're mine, always. The guards drew swords, blades glinting in the firelight. I stepped in front of Alaric, yanking my dagger from my sleeve, shouting, he belongs to no one. My voice echoed with a princess's authority. Isabella's eyes narrowed, her tone icy. Protect him, and your princess past will be exposed. The church and Castor will come for you. Her threat coiled around my heart like a serpent. My pendant burned at my chest, warning of the cost to come. Then, urgent footsteps sounded outside, mixed with the rustle of paper. Thomas, a rebel ally, burst in, panting. Aelara, Castor's army is closing in. They'll burn the village tonight. Fear filled his eyes, his grip tight on a worn axe. My heart pounded like a war drum. Was Isabella behind this? She smirked, glancing at Thomas. Your village is doomed, Aelara. Hand him over, and I might plead for mercy. I gripped my dagger, torn if I trusted Alaric. We deface war together. If I gave in to Isabella, I might save the village but lose him. I don't trust you, Isabella, I said, voice firm as stone. Your ring changes nothing. I turned to Alaric, his eyes a stormy sea of guilt and resolve. Aelara, he whispered, his voice heavy with a knight's honor. I swear on my honor, my past won't hurt you again. His hand covered mine, warm as an oath, briefly easing the chaos. But Isabella's laugh grated. You'll regret this, princess. I stepped to the corner table, where the castle's parchment scrolls lay scattered. Unrolling one, I read the ancient ink. Only the blood of a true heart can lift the relic's curse. My heart leapt. True heart's blood? His, or mine? The scroll's faded script whispered an untold prophecy. I glanced at Alaric's wound, its teal glow soft but unyielding. My faith wavered, love and duty teetering. Studying the curse might save him, but the army's attack could raise the village. Thomas urged, Aelara, we have to fight. I nodded, heart splitting. Tucking the scroll into my pouch, I gripped the pendant, praying silently, Lord, if your mercy remains, guide me. The wind howled like wolves outside, Isabella's ring glinting on the floor, mocking my choice. Alaric's vow, Isabella's betrayal, the village's crisis. Would this fractured triangle plunge our love into the abyss? Chapter 8. The Cost of Betrayal. Noon sunlight pierced the clouds, spilling over the village ruins, where charred beams reeked of acrid smoke, mingled with earth and blood. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now a fugitive healer, carrying royal secrets and a forbidden love. Last night, Isabella's engagement ring stabbed my heart, revealing Alaric's betrothal vow and shaking my trust. The village fires had died, but Castor's army loomed like a storm, Thomas's warning echoing, they'll burn the village tonight. I stood at the cabin door, clutching the castle's parchment scroll, its ancient ink stating, "Only the blood of a true heart can lift the relic's curse." My royal pendant hung heavy, its cold metal a reminder of lost glory and love's cost. Inside, the fireplace's embers crackled, the air thick with sage's bitter scent. Alaric sat on the straw bed, pale as frost, his wound's teal glow soft but persistent, black blood staining his tattered linen shirt. His gaze locked on me, grey-blue like a stormy sea, brimming with guilt and resolve. "Aelara," he said softly, voice rough but firm, "I hid the betrothal because it was my mistake. My heart is yours alone." His hand reached for me, warm as an oath, but it couldn't tee fully through the chill in my chest. Isabella's sneer, the ring glinting on the floor, mocked my trust. I looked away, heart churning. "How can I trust you, Alaric? What other secrets are you hiding?" Before he could answer, soft footsteps and rustling paper sounded outside. I flung open the door, sunlight blinding, a villager's shadow darting away, leaving a parchment letter on the ground, sealed with Castor's eagle crest. My pulse raced as I tore it open, the crooked script clear, "Isabella to Prince Reynard, the deserter knight hides in the village cabin. Send troops to crush them." My blood froze. Isabella had betrayed us. She revealed Alaric's location and my presence to Castor's Prince Reynard. Her castle threat flashed, "Your princess past will echo through Castor." She planned this all along. I stormed back, slamming the letter on the table, shouting, "Isabella sold you out to Reynard." Alaric's face darkened, his eyes scanning the letter, burning with rage and pain. "Reynard," he whispered, voice thick with hatred, "my family's ally, the puppet master behind my betrothal." He struggled to stand, his wound's teal glow pulsing with his emotions. I grabbed his arm, voice shaking. "Why didn't you tell me sooner? Your past keeps dragging me into danger." My heart stormed, love and betrayal wrestling. I saw my father's assassination, the court's conspiracy stealing everything. Would I lose it all again for a man cloaked in secrets? "Aelara," he said softly, his gaze a blazing torch, raw and honest, "I hid the betrothal because I feared you'd leave. My childhood was chained to my family's orders, Reynard's power forcing my submission." He paused, voice low as a confession. "But meeting you showed me what freedom means." His fingers brushed my hand, warm as an oath, igniting a spark. My chest tightened, the pendant burning, echoing my father's words, "Mercy is a trial, courage is the answer." But would courage plunge us both into ruin? The wind outside grew sharp, distant hooves thundering like death's approach. Alaric grabbed his short sword, eyes resolute. "I'll face them, Aelara. Stay here, protect the village." His voice carried a knight's finality, redeeming his vow with his life. I shook my head fiercely. "You're mad. You're too wounded to fight an army." His wound's teal glow flared, devouring his life. He gave a bitter smile, tenderness in his eyes. "I'd rather die than let you suffer for me." I gripped his arm, tears brimming. "No, Alaric," I said, voice breaking. "We face them together." My heart tore, loyalty and love balanced on a knife's edge. Exposing Isabella's letter might buy time, but silence meant facing Reynard's army. The scroll's words haunted me. Only the blood of a true heart can lift the curse. My blood, or his? My hand brushed the pendant, memories of the court flashing my father's blood on marble, traitors' laughter, flames of exile. I wasn't he that helpless princess anymore. I defied with cunning. I opened my pouch, pulling out the castle's scroll, its ancient ink twisting like a curse in the sunlight. I read softly, the relic lies in the temple a true heart's blood can awaken divine grace. Temple? Castor's temple? My heart leapt. If we found the relic, we could break the curse and turn the tide. I turned to Alaric, whispering, "We don't die. We go to the temple." His eyes lit up, though worry lingered. Reynard won't he let us go easily. I gripped my dagger, resolute. Let him try. Thomas's shout broke through. Aelara! The enemy's here. I rushed to the window, sunlight glinting off Castor's cavalry, their armor flashing, eagle banners snapping in the wind. Villagers fled, torch smoke clouding the square. I pulled Alaric toward the back door, mud clinging to my boots, the stream's gurgle masking our steps. His wound leaked faint black blood, the teal glow soft, answering my resolve. My pendant pulsed, whispering an untold prophecy. We slipped into the forest, branches scratching my cheeks, leaving stinging trails. Alaric gripped my hand, his breaths heavy but steady. "Whatever happens, I'll protect you," he said, his vow a torch igniting my courage. I whispered back, "Then we live, Alaric." Enemy horns blared behind, Isabella's betrayal a looming shadow, the relic's secret calling ahead. This choice, would it cost us our love, or bring redemption's hope? Chapter 9. The Truth of the Curse. The pre-dawn chill slipped through the cracks of Castor's temple, carrying the damp stench of mold and sharp oil. Torches flickered between stone pillars, casting warped shadows. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now a fugitive healer, bearing royal secrets and a forbidden love. Yesterday, Isabella's letter betrayed our hiding place, and Castor's army closed in on the village, forcing Alaric and me to flee to this ancient temple, seeking hope to break his wound's curse. The scroll's words echoed in my mind. Only the blood of a true heart can lift the divine punishment. My royal pendant hung heavy at my chest, its cold metal whispering my father's teaching. Mercy is a trial, courage is the answer. But tonight, would courage drag us into the abyss? The temple's stone floor was icy, my boots echoing dully, the pillars carved with angels and demons staring at our intrusion. Alaric followed, stumbling, his wound's teal glow flashing in the dark like a guard's eye. His linen shirt was soaked with sweat and black blood, the silver ring at his waist glinting, its etched patterns echoing the temple's wall runes. I clutched the castle's parchment scroll, my fingers numb from cold. "This is the temple from the scroll," I whispered, my voice ringing in the vast hall. "The relic must be here." Alaric nodded, resolve in his eyes. "Whatever the cost, I'll end this curse." We crossed the hall, torchlight revealing a cracked statue of the Virgin Mary. Beside it, an altar held a dagger, its blade glowing with eerie white light, like frozen moonlight. My heart jolted. This was the relic. Embedded in the stone, it was surrounded by ancient runes matching the scroll's. I approached, the air thick with metal and incense, the dagger's glow pulsing, alive, calling. I touched the hilt, ice cold and stinging. I yanked my hand back, whispering, "This dagger, it's responding to me." Alaric stood beside me, his gaze heavy. It's the curse's source and my family's sin. Tell me the truth, Alaric, I urged, voice trembling. Why does this dagger curse you? He took a deep breath, his eyes sinking into memory's abyss. My family guarded this relic for generations, he murmured, voice heavy as a confession. It's said to be divinely blessed to purge evil. But my father, he used it to spill innocent blood for power. He paused, pain flashing in his eyes. I stole it to stop the sacrifices, but it angered the gods. This wound is my punishment. His wound flared, black blood seeping, hissing on the stone. My chest tightened, the scroll's warning ringing. Those who touch it face divine wrath. Would this curse consume me too? I unrolled the scroll, torchlight twisting the ink like a curse. The relic, defiled, demands a true heart's blood for redemption. True heart's blood? His, or mine? My faith wavered. The church taught reverence for the divine, yet their trials burned the innocent. I saw my father's assassination, the court's betrayal stripping me of everything. Why was I risking my faith for an enemy knight? This curse could destroy us, I whispered, tears brimming. We're fighting not just enemies, but gods. Alaric grabbed my hand, warm as an oath. Aelara, if the gods judge, let them judge me. You don't have to follow me to hell. His eyes, stormy seas of sacrifice and love, sparked fire in my heart. I shook my head, gripping his hand, my pendant burning. No, Alaric. We faced this together. His fingers tightened, a soft glow in his eyes. You're the bravest soul I've ever known. He leaned in, forehead touching mine, breaths mingling like a final farewell. My heart pounded like a war drum, love and fate wrestling. Would this forbidden love be swallowed by divine wrath? Then, a low horn blared outside, hoofs thundering, armor clanking. The enemy was here. Torchlight seeped through the stone cracks, revealing a towering figure. Prince Reynard of Castor, clad in black and gold armor, a cruel smile in his eyes. Traitor Alaric! Reynard's voice boomed like thunder through the temple. Did you think you could escape me? His gaze flicked to me, dripping with noble arrogance. And you, Princess Aelara, harboring a heretic, betraying your bloodline. My blood froze. Isabella's letter had led him here. Reynard drew his sword, its blade glinting in the torchlight, his soldiers blocking the temple's entrance. I gripped my dagger, heart torn. If I surrendered the relic, we might live. If we fought Reynard, we deface death. My pendant burned, whispering my father's words. Courage is the answer. Reynard, I shouted, voice echoing off the pillars, this relic isn't yours. I fought with cunning, raising the scroll, reading loudly. Only a true heart's blood can redeem it. Your greed will bring divine wrath. Reynard sneered, stepping closer. Foolish woman, your faith won't save you. His sword swung, slicing the air, tearing my cloak at the shoulder. Alaric lunged in front of me, his short sword clashing with Reynard's, sparks flying, the metal's clang deafening. His wound oozed black blood, teal glow pulsing, warning of his fading life. Aelara, take the dagger. Alaric yelled, voice resolute. I rushed to the altar, yanking the relic dagger free, its blinding light searing, the hilt scorching like a brand. I gritted my teeth, clutching it, the scroll's prophecy ringing, true heart's blood. I looked at Alaric, locked in combat with Reynard, swords flashing like lightning, blood spattering the stone. The enemy's torches closed in, the temple's walls trembling. My faith teetered, love and divine wrath balanced on a knife's edge. Could this dagger break the curse? If I failed, we fall together. Reynard's laugh hissed like a demon. You can't escape, princess. The relic's glow pulsed in my hand, whispering its final secret. Chapter 10. The Jewel of Honor. The midday sun scorched the ruined castle's courtyard, the cracked stone reeking of dry earth and rusted iron, dust swirling like ghosts in the wind. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now a fugitive healer, carrying royal secrets and a forbidden love. Last night, we infiltrated Castor's temple, finding the relic dagger, the scroll revealing Alaric's family's sin spilling innocent blood to defile the divine, unleashing the curse. Prince Reynard's army cornered us in the temple, forcing our escape to this ruin. The dagger weighed heavy in my hand, its white glow pulsing, whispering, only a true heart's blood can lift the curse. My royal pendant hung cold, echoing my father's teaching. Courage is the answer. Would this jewel redeem us, or end us? The courtyard's broken walls were tangled with dead vines, smoke from the distant village lingering, the air thick with charred wood and blood. Alaric stood in the center, gripping his short sword, his wound's teal glow soft but unyielding, black blood staining his linen shirt. His face was pale as frost, but his grey-blue eyes burned with a knight's resolve. Reynard faced him, black and gold armor gleaming, Castor's eagle banner snapping in the wind. His laugh grated like a crow's. Traitor, you thought stealing the relic would save you from divine wrath? He drew his long sword, its blade flashing in the sun, guards forming a semicircle, their torches smoke stinging. I stood at the courtyard's edge, clutching the relic dagger, its hilt burning like a brand, stinging my fingers. My heart churned, faith and love clashing like blades. Last night's temple standoff echoed Reynard's threat like a serpent. Your faith won't save you. But my prayer's teal glow gave me hope that divine grace lingered. I whispered a prayer, Lord, if your mercy remains, guide us. The dagger's glow flickered, answering my heartbeat. My pendant burned, memories of my farther south assassination flashing the court's betrayal, his blood on marble, flames of exile. Would I risk everything again? Reynard. Alaric roared, voice ringing through the courtyard. Your greed destroyed my family. Today, I settle this with honor. He charged, his short sword clashing with Reynard's, sparks flying, metal screaming. His wound leaked black blood, his steps faltering, but each swing carried a knight's pride. Reynard sneered, his sword play vicious, slicing Alaric's sleeve, blood spattering the stone. My heart pounded like a war drum, gripping the dagger, wanting to rush in, but a guard's spear forced me back. Aelara, stay back. Alaric shouted, voice pained but firm. He dodged Reynard's strike, the blade grazing his shoulder, teal glow flaring, devouring his life. I gritted my teeth, kneeling at the courtyard's edge, raising the relic dagger to the sky. Lord, if a true heart redeems, take my blood for his life. I shut my eyes, tears falling, the dagger's light exploding like stars, blinding me. Alaric's wound answered, its teal glow softening like moonlight, black blood fading, the gash slowly healing. His steps steadied, his sword forcing Reynard back, strength reborn. A miracle. A guard gasped, his spear trembling. Reynard's eyes narrowed, roaring, witchcraft. Kill her. He lunged at Alaric's chest, but Alaric sidestepped, his short sword slashing Reynard's armor, blood spraying. Dust swirled, swords clashing like thunder, Villagers' cries echoing faintly, Thomas shouting, "Aelara, hold on." I gripped the dagger. Heart torn, was this a divine sign or Satan's trick? My faith wavered, but Alaric's gaze, a blazing torch, fueled my courage. "Aelara, you're my faith," he shouted, voice cutting through the battle's din. He charged, grabbing my hand, warm as an oath. "Gods or punishment, I fight for you." His grip tightened, the teal glow fading from his wound, revealing healed skin. My tears fell, the pendant pulsing, answering his vow. "Then live, Alaric," I whispered, "for us." His eyes softened, heavy with a knight's honor. "I swear it." Reynard bellowed, charging, but Alaric's strike sent his sword flying, lodging in the stone wall. The guards froze, torches flickering, as Reynard stumbled back, shouting, "Retreat! Retreat!" The enemy fled like a receding tide, their banner furling, dust cloaking their escape. I glimpsed Isabella's crimson cloak vanishing into the ruins she'd escaped. The village's fires dimmed, villagers cheering faintly, Thomas bursting into the courtyard, axe blooded. We held them off. I collapsed, the relic dagger falling to the stone, its white glow fading. Alaric knelt beside me, forehead touching mine, breaths mingling like a final prayer. "You saved me, Aelara," he whispered, voice trembling. "Your faith broke the curse." I shook my head, tears streaming. We did it together. My heart calmed, faith and love no longer at odds. The pendant warmed like a star, my father's smile flashing. Courage is the answer. But Isabella's escape loomed, a shadow hinting the war wasn't over. Villagers gathered, Thomas raising a fist. "Princess, knight, you saved us." I looked at Alaric, his wound now a faint scar. His hand held mine, eyes bright with hope. This duel had changed our fate, but was Isabella's plot still brewing? The relic dagger lay on the stone, whispering unfinished secrets. Chapter 11. The Oath of Redemption. The morning mist cloaked the village ruins, charred beams giving off damp smoke, the air thick with earth and burnt grain. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now a reborn healer, carrying royal secrets and a forbidden love. Yesterday's courtyard duel thundered through my heart. Alaric faced Castor's Prince Reynard with honor, and my prayer sparked the relic dagger's light, miraculously healing his wound. The enemy retreated, Isabella fled, and the village was spared, but the broken walls reminded me the war's shadow lingered. My royal pendant hung warm as a star at my chest, echoing my father's blessing. Courage is the answer. Could this victory fuel our hope to rebuild? Sunlight pierced the fog, spilling over the village square's rubble, where villagers gathered around a makeshift wooden platform, clutching simple tools, their eyes weary yet hopeful. I stood on the platform, my cloak dusted with ash, gripping the relic dagger, its white glow faded but faintly warm. Alaric stood beside me, his healed scar barely visible in the sunlight, his grey-blue eyes like a calm sea after a storm, soft yet resolute. Thomas, our rebel ally, raised his axe among the crowd, shouting, "Princess, you saved us. Lead us now." The villagers' murmurs rose like a breeze, filled with awe and expectation. My heart raced, memories of the court flashing my father's blood on marble, traitor sneers, flames driving my exile. I was no longer the powerless princess. I'd ignite hope. I raised the pendant, sunlight catching the royal crest, my voice ringing through the square. I am Aelara, princess of Lystra. This village sheltered me, and now, I swear by my bloodline to lead you in rebuilding our home." Cheers erupted, children's laughter cutting through the mist, Thomas's eyes gleaming with respect. My heart trembled. My princess title, once a shackle, was now a weapon to rally allies. But it carried responsibility if rebuilding failed. I'd betray their trust. I glanced at Alaric, his smile a torch fueling my courage. We stepped off the platform, villagers crowding around, discussing plans. Thomas suggested, "We need a well. The war poisoned our water." I nodded, picturing clear water flowing, a symbol of renewal. Turning to Alaric, I whispered, "The well will be our start for the village, for us." He squeezed my hand, warm as an oath. "Aelara, I'll stand with you, building every stone." His grip tightened, a flicker of something complex in his eyes, like an untold secret. We walked to an open patch at the village's edge, mud clinging to my boots, the grass littered with charred wood and broken pottery. Villagers began digging, the thud of shovels against earth blending with birdsong, the air rich with wet soil and grass. I knelt, pulling sage from my pouch, its bitter scent wrinkling my nose. "This herb will purify the water, make it sweet," I said softly. Alaric crouched beside me, his gaze gentle. "You always find a way to bring hope." His voice was low, carrying a night's weight, tinged with exhaustion. "Why do you look at me like that?" I asked, pausing my grinding. His eyes drifted to memory, voice soft as a confession. "I was a Castorian noble, chained to my family's ambitions, betrothed for power." He paused, pain flashing. "But meeting you showed me freedom. I gave up my title, Aelara, to stand by you." His honesty cut, aching yet sparking trust. I remembered Isabella's ring, her betrayal a shadow, but I chose to believe him. "Your past doesn't matter," I whispered. "You chose us." He smiled, fingers brushing my cheek, warm as dawn. "I swear on my soul, Aelara, my future is yours." We stood, facing the digging villagers, and I called out, "This well will symbolize our rebirth." In the name of Lystra and Castor, we lay down hatred to build a home. Cheers rose, Thomas leading with a shovel, dirt flying like seeds of hope. Alaric pulled me aside under an old oak, its leaves rustling. He unhooked the silver ring from his waist, its etched patterns no longer a curse but a mark of redemption. "Aelara," he murmured, voice like a prayer, "I swear with this ring to build a future with you, village, marriage, all of it." He slid it onto my finger, cool yet warm as his heart. Tears fell, my pendant pulsing, answering his vow. "I swear too, Alaric," I said, voice catching. "Gods or enemies, we face them together." He leaned in, lips brushing mine, soft and searing, like our stolen waterfall kiss but heavy with redemption. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, bathing us, like a divine blessing. Villagers' laughter echoed, shovels rhythmic as war drums, heralding renewal. But a flicker of unease lingered. Isabella's escape loomed. The relic dagger rested in my pouch, its dim glow whispering unfinished secrets. Thomas approached, clutching a tattered letter with Castor's eagle seal. "Aelara, we found this in the ruins," he said, eyes worried. "It's from Isabella." I tore it open, the scrawled words chilling. "Reynard lives. He'll return for vengeance." My heart sank, memories of the courtyard duel flashing, Reynard's sword falling, his army fleeing, yet his threat lingered like a serpent. This oath, this rebirth, could it withstand the coming storm? Alaric gripped my hand, eyes firm. Whatever she brings, we face it together. I nodded, heart steady, faith and love entwined. Would this marriage vow be our shield, or a new trial? Chapter 12. The Legacy of Hope. The sunset-esque glow bathed the village square, staining charred posts and fresh-laid stones red, the air mingling wet earth, burnt grain, and a hint of fresh grass. I'm Aelara, once a princess, now the village's healer and leader, carrying royal secrets and a forbidden love. Yesterday, we swore marriage vows in the ruins, Alaric abandoning his Castorian nobility to build a future with me. Isabella's threatening letter cast a shadow, warning of Reynard's revenge, but the villagers' cheers sparked hope. My royal pendant glowed warm as a star, echoing my father's blessing. Courage is the answer. Tonight, our wedding would usher in the village's rebirth, but would that lingering threat strike again? In the square's center, villagers had built a simple wedding platform with planks and wildflower garlands, their sweet scent mixing with wood smoke. Children laughed, waving woven grass rings. Thomas stood at the platform, his axe swapped for a wooden staff, a rare smile on his face. Aelara, Alaric, you're our hope. Villagers formed a circle, holding torches, their orange glow flickering in the twilight, illuminating tired but resolute faces. I wore a linen gown, its hem embroidered with blue threads salvaged from the ruins, symbolizing Lystra's glory. Alaric stood beside me in a plain white linen shirt, his scarf faint at the collar, his grey-blue eyes like a calm sea, soft yet fierce. I stepped onto the platform, my pendant pulsing, heart swirling with emotions. Once, I was a fugitive shadow, hiding my identity for vengeance. Now, I stood in these ruins, leading as a princess to rebuild. Could this marriage, this love, withstand the coming storm? I gripped Alaric's hand, his warmth an oath, banishing my doubts. Elder Calvin approached, holding a worn Bible, his voice low but solemn. Before God and these witnesses, do you vow to be one, guarding each other until eternity? I looked at Alaric, his gaze a torch igniting my heart. I do, he said softly, voice like a prayer. I swear on my soul, Aelara, to build a new life with you. I do, I replied, tears brimming. Gods or enemies, we face them together. Calvin smiled, raising the Bible. In God's name, you are wed. Cheers erupted, children tossing wildflowers, petals drifting like snow onto my hair and gown. Alaric leaned in, lips brushing mine, soft and searing, like our waterfall kiss but heavy with redemption. His hand slid to my waist, warm as a vow, my heart pounding like a war drum, answering our forbidden love's fulfillment. The crowd's laughter mingled with the crackle of torches, the square alight with hope. After the ceremony, I climbed the platform, raising the pendant, sunlight catching the royal crest, my voice ringing, I am Lystra's princess, your healer. I declare we'll build a well, a source of clear life. Cheers rose, Thomas shouting, the well. Rebirth. I looked at Alaric, his smile like dawn. You did it, Aelara. You gave them hope. My heart settled, faith and love entwined. But Isabella's letter lingered, Reynard will return for vengeance. Could this rebirth endure? We walked to the village's edge, where villagers dug the well, shovels thudding like heartbeats, wet earth mingling with wildflower scent. I knelt, pulling marigold from my pouch, its bitter scent wrinkling my nose. This herb will purify the water, I said, handing Thomas a small packet. Alaric crouched beside me, gaze soft. You turn ruin into miracles. His fingers brushed my hand, warm as dawn, stirring memories of yesterday's duel, the relic dagger's light healing his wound. You gave me freedom, Aelara, he whispered, voice heavy with a knight's honor. I was bound by my family's chains, Reynard's threats forcing my submission. Your courage set me on this path. I met his eyes, emotions swirling. Once, I lived for vengeance, my faith shaken by the church's trials. Now, I fought for love and hope, but Isabella's shadow lurked. You gave up your noble title, I said softly. But Reynard won't let us go. He gripped my hand, eyes fierce. Let him come. I'm no longer Castor's knight, I'm your husband. His vow was a torch, igniting my courage. I touched the pendant, my father's smile flashing. Mercy is a trial. Could this marriage, this well, be our shield? The sun sank, the sky blood red, villagers circling the well's foundation stones, lighting torches, their orange glow banishing the twilight's chill. Alaric and I stood by the well, gazing at the distant forest, the wind carrying pine and stream scents. His arm wrapped around me, voice low. We'll make this village thrive, Aelara. Our children will run on this land. I smiled, tears falling. Our legacy will be hope. My gaze fell on the well's cornerstone, etched with simple patterns, symbolizing rebirth. But Isabella's letter haunted me. Would Reynard's vengeance shatter this fragile peace? Thomas approached, gripping a shovel, voice low. Aelara, someone spotted Castor's banners at the forest's edge. My heart sank, the pendant burning, warning of unfinished threats. I looked at Alaric, his eyes steady. Whatever comes, we face it together. Villagers' torches flickered, the well's cornerstone gleaming in the twilight, like a divine gaze. Would this legacy of hope endure, or be swallowed by vengeance's shadow?